You're listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show, where wealth is empowering, purpose is crucial, and high vibes are non-negotiable. And now, here's your host, certified business coach and practical woo strategist, Sarah J. Loureiro.
Hey beauty, did you know that I just opened up some spots to work with me one-on-one? As an exclusive one-on-one business coaching client, you will get access to pretty much everything that I release this calendar year. So including my mastermind, including the amazing fully booked formula. If this is your year to finally up-level your business to the income and impact that really pushes you beyond your wildest dreams, we need to talk. You can book a free call with me to see if you're a good fit from the link bit.ly//let's talk success. That's uppercase L, uppercase T, uppercase S. Or you can head over to my website at sarahjloureiro.com/workwithsarah to find out more. Hey lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of the Uplevel Your Online Business Show with me, Sarah, certified business coach for coaches and creatives and consultants, anyone who's a one-to-one service-based entrepreneur who wants to really level up and experience that freedom-based lifestyle that so many of us online entrepreneurs get to enjoy. All right, so this episode, the title of this episode and the subject of this episode was something that was requested by my community. So every now and then I go onto my Instagram. My Instagram is at Sarah J. Loureiro. Loureiro is Loureiro. It's Portuguese. It's a little bit of a handful. We use a lot of vowels in our words. But it was requested by someone who is following me on Instagram. Her request was actually, how did you find your first online client? And I remember when I was still struggling to find clients and to sign on clients, that this is the exact thing that I wanted to know. I wanted to know how everyone found their first, their second, their third online clients. So here it is for you guys. I'm going to literally tell you step by step what went on for me to sign on my first 3 online clients. And the reason why I'm doing 3 here is because every client that happened after those 3 was essentially a part of the same type of strategy and the same type of marketing and mindset work that I did to get the initial 3. All right, so we're going to have to back up a little bit here. This was actually, I kid you not, I started my very first online business in very, very late 2014 is when I put up my website. I put up my coaching packages. And then in 2015 is kind of when I started to get a better website, get better packages, do a little bit better in terms of my DIY. But to be completely honest with you, I was doing things DIY for a very long time. And that's actually a huge, huge part of my problem and why I wasn't signing on clients at all. So I literally went 6 months without signing any online clients. And I'll tell you the entire story, but basically I want you to know that everything started in 2014. It felt really good. I was blogging. So I was a yoga teacher and kind of lifestyle coach at the time. And I was blogging about everything that I knew. I had actually gotten some in-person clients relatively quickly just because of word of mouth and a lot of referrals that were really helpful for me at the time. It was a huge confidence boost. It was like I said, it was pretty easy to do considering I just literally reached out into my network. I got a few clients. It was really awesome to work with them, all of that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you, signing clients online was a completely different ball game. And because of the fact that I never really invested in support, because at the time I was like, oh, I have time, so I'm just going to try to, download all the freebies and do all of these things in order to get to where I want to go. There was no business for a pretty long time. So it wasn't until I actually invested in my very first group program. And the group program that I invested in was all about branding at the time. I didn't even invest in any marketing before that. Could you believe that? It was all about branding. It was all about, finding my voice, finding my style. But that program was hugely beneficial for me because right from the get-go from that program, I realized that I needed a niche. And I didn't have a niche at all. Can you believe that? Right now, this is literally the first thing that I do with my clients. Even if they have a niche, even if they think they have a niche, we always go in and we rework it and make sure that their foundation is really stable before we do any other type of work, because this is so essential. So I realized that I didn't have a niche, and I strategized my niche from there. I tweaked my website once again. I got an even better Work With Me page up and running. And so at this point in time, my Work With Me page kind of had everything that you really needed to know, everything that you really wanted to hear if you're my ideal client. And I SEO'd that page. So it was, I went under search engine optimization. I did it myself, by the way, which I'm kind of proud of this. I did my SEO myself. And it surprisingly worked really well because it actually started coming up on Google search engines. And so I ended up getting my first client because she messaged me, and get this, I did not have the proper link on my contact button. So she messaged me saying, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you, but I had to kind of do a little bit of research into your website to actually, find out what your email is, which is a huge no-no, you guys. So always make sure that all of your buttons work. And I remember this day, I think it was like a weekend, and I was with one of my friends, and I was like, oh my God, someone just messaged me about private yoga, and this is so exciting, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself because someone just messaged me, and it was a real person. And at that moment, I was like, wow, boom, it's the whole "this is working" thing started to come up for me, and it felt incredible. So I ended up getting on the phone with her, like doing a consultation. At that point in time, I had no idea what a sales call was because I still hadn't gone through any sales training or any marketing training or anything like that for my business. But I managed to actually sign her on, and I think it was for like a 6-session package. At a discounted rate, because at the time I was still so afraid of having clients leave me that I signed her up at a discounted rate. It's another thing that I tell all of my clients not to do. Put down your boundaries in the beginning of your business, and you will watch it grow so much quicker. And it was great. It was a really, really great experience for me to finally have an online client. She was really happy with our sessions together, and yeah, huge confidence boost. But here's the thing, you guys, I had no sales processes. I had no marketing systems. I had no automation systems. So for another 6 months, I didn't get a single client. And I was just there blogging, trying to do a few of the things that my branding course were showing me were helpful. So there was a specific portion of the course on marketing. I did try to promote myself a little bit through Instagram, but because I didn't know how to content market, it was also really, really difficult for me. So I went, I think it was another 6 months before I signed my next online client. And the reason why I want to tell you guys this, and the reason why I want to be really honest about this and upfront about this, is because literally the reason why I wasn't signing on clients from the get-go and wasn't creating a consistent stream of clients is because I wasn't investing at the right level in my business. And so I always tell my clients this, I tell my community this all the time. You really want to make sure that you're investing in your business at the level where you're going to have that expectation that you're going to be able to get that return. And so that's usually a 20%. So if you want, let's say, for example, a 6-figure business, 20% of a 6-figure business is $20,000. And I always tell people this because it helps to put so much of this in perspective. And it doesn't mean that you're investing $20,000 in a mastermind. It means that your total amount of investments and operations for your business is around $20,000 so that you can get to around a 6-figure business for that year. And so I did not understand this mentality at all. So I was investing in like these really, really small programs here and there, trying to see if I can DIY a little bit more. And unfortunately, all of the DIYing and all of the learning from the freebies and learning from, like the blog posts and all of the strategies, none of that was really helping me that much. And it's mainly because at that point in time, I knew a little bit of strategy. I knew how to write blog posts. I knew how to write a work with me page. And I kind of knew how to promote myself on Instagram. But I had no idea that mindset work even existed. And so this is huge. And this literally was one of the biggest things that pivoted my business from signing on one client every 6 months to being able to get fully booked in a matter of months shortly thereafter was the mindset work, was really implementing the mindset work and implementing strategic work that was actually meant for my business. So not just strategic work that, like a huge multi-million-dollar online marketer was talking about in his free blog post, but really it was when I started to work with a business coach who understood one-on-one work and who understood not just one-on-one work, but one-on-one strategies, who understood Facebook ads, who understood how to post to Facebook groups to get clients, and who also understood a little bit more of the energetic work that goes into owning a business and owning your personal brand. It wasn't until I really invested at that level where literally I went from signing on that one client, which was amazing, and then having a huge dry spell for 6 months, to signing on 3 clients within 3 weeks, and then getting fully booked within 2 months. And that snowball effect of literally hiring my very first business coach, being terrified of hiring my first business coach, but being able to sign 3 back-to-back clients within 3 weeks of working with her, that was a monumental shift in my thinking. And so here's kind of how a little bit of that worked as well, because I promised you guys that I'd share how I got my first 3 online clients. So now you know how I got my first online clients. So what about these other 2? Well, I was dibble-dabbling a little bit with Facebook ads. And so I actually started a Facebook ad campaign. This is how I got my second client. I started a Facebook ad campaign. And I can't remember how much I spent, but it was like, it made me want to vomit because I was so terrified of spending money on my business. I still wasn't able to let go of that. I mean, here I am now creating consistent multiple 5-figure months, and spending on my business, I know, is an absolute necessity to get to where I am today. But I just wanted, I want to paint a picture for you that I wasn't always like this. I really, really struggled in the beginning to understand the value of investing in my business to see these types of results. So I think I spent about $500 on my very first Facebook ad campaign. And at the time, I was selling a $100 program through those ads. And interesting story, I did a summit right before that. So I had a summit, and I thought that the summit was going to get me so many clients, but there were so many messaging problems with the summit that I did. It was a really, really incredible experience. I got to interview a whole bunch of entrepreneurs, a whole bunch of people who are in the health and fitness and mindset areas of entrepreneurship. And while that was all great and all, I ended up trying to sell this program. And at the time I was selling it with a one-on-one call, and I was only charging like a little bit over $100 for it, which was absolutely ridiculous. And no one bought this program, you guys. And no one bought my program. And I had done this huge summit. I had spent hours and hours and hours doing the summit and hours putting work into this program. And I did an entire launch for it, and I had 0 people sign up. Why did I have 0 people sign up? Because my messaging was completely off with my program and with the summit. It wasn't the same people that were coming into the summit who were going to be purchasing the program. So huge messaging piece there, but at the time I didn't really understand just how important that kind of stuff was. So anyways, going forward a little bit, I had reworked all of the messaging for this program with the help of my coach, and I decided to call it something completely different. I really, really focused strategically on my messaging, really tried to focus on, like, who am I trying to help here with this program? And, who is it that I'm serving, and why do they want this? Why do they want this? And how can I bring them from the copy that I created for a Facebook ad all the way through to an email funnel where I was talking to them about the benefits of this program, and how could I make them actually want to sign up for it? And so that was actually really successful. So once I nailed my messaging and I nailed my very first automated sales process, I got a sale. And I remember being at one of my friend's weddings at the time, and we had no Wi-Fi the entire weekend. And so I came back from the wedding and I was checking my phone, and my phone said that I had an email, and my email said I had a sale. And then I just started freaking out because I was so excited. I was like, oh my goodness, this program that I spent so much time and effort in developing to really help women with their peace of mind, with their yoga practice, all of that kind of stuff. Like, someone actually bought it, and someone bought it without me even knowing who they were. So this was like the second test that everything was working. It was like the universe saw that I really wanted to do this type of work, and it was responding, with that sale from this, amazing woman who I had no idea who she was. And she trusted me enough, through my ad copy, through my email copy, through my sales page for this program, to be like, yes, this is something that I need, and I'm willing to pay $100 for it. And so I ended up following up with that woman, I think a few weeks after she purchased the program. And so we got on the phone together. It's so funny because still at this point in time, I had no idea what a sales process was. So I was terrible on my phone call, but people trust people who are trustworthy. I really and fully believe that. And after the phone call, she was even more excited about working with me for a 3-month package that I had just recently developed. And she didn't sign up right away. I had to wait a little bit because she wanted to get some funds in order to be able to sign up. But she actually signed up, I think it was like a month later. And there was another piece of proof for me that what I was doing was working. And not only what I was doing was working, but when I invested in my business, and when I invested in my own personal development, and when I invested in understanding and knowing how to be able to promote myself and how to be able to translate my energy and my energy of service to other people, that those other people responded. And I think that one of the best parts of this entire journey is that the women that you work with, or the people who you end up working with, you might think sometimes that you're just like, you're frantic about making money because, businesses, that's what they do. They make money, right? So if you're not making money, you don't really own a business. And so that's one of the, the biggest things that you really want to get. What you don't realize, or what I didn't realize at that point, was just how much I was also changing these women's lives. And of course I was. I mean, I was a yoga teacher. I was helping them with their anxiety. I was helping them lose weight. I was helping them learn more advanced poses. I was helping them maintain calm, establish morning routines. Like, there were so many things that I was helping these women with, and they would just come back to me all of the time saying, that felt amazing. I can't believe how much this is helping me. And they'd literally thank me. And that was another huge light bulb moment for me when I realized that even if people are paying, like, especially when people are paying for a service, they're going to thank you. because you are helping them improve their lives, right? Even if you're a web designer, if you do an outstanding job with your web design and with your services, people are going to love you. Like, the people who are paying you are going to love to pay you, and they're going to shout your name from the rooftops because you're changing their life. It doesn't matter how much money they're giving you. When you're providing amazing service, they're so grateful for it. And so that was a huge piece for me as well, was just realizing that not only was I capable of creating programs and selling programs to random people on the internet who had never met before. That was a huge deal for me. It was this whole idea of random people, right? They weren't from referrals anymore. They were just people who were kind of floating in space online from all over the world. And they decided that they wanted to work with me. They decided that they wanted to trust me. They decided that I was going to help them. And it was all at once a huge responsibility on my part, but at the same time, one of the greatest gifts that I feel like I have been given within this entrepreneurial journey is people giving me the opportunity to serve them and to really help them and to really transform their lives, both in that yoga business that I had and now in my business coaching business, where I get the same thing. I get the thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be making the money that I'm making, or I wouldn't be making the impact that I'm making right now if it wasn't for you. So that's huge. And I think just let that sit in and settle, especially if you're listening to this episode. Chances are you're probably struggling to sign on your first few online clients. So just let that settle in. That possibility or the belief that is going to happen to you as well. And that is a really, really beautiful thing. All right. And so the last online client that I got, I'm telling you about the first three. So the last of the three, she actually came from a Facebook group, and I was posting in this Facebook group. I was posting a whole bunch of valuable information, and I was also giving women a free checklist that I had. And so that was my opt-in, that was my freebie. That was, in exchange for their email address. And she decided to sign up to that because she'd actually never done yoga before. It was very interesting, but she was looking for different ways to be able to manage a lot of the pain that she had in her body. And so I really, really worked on my content marketing there. I was posting to a few groups almost every single day. And she ended up coming from that. At one point in time, I was offering these absolutely free 30-minute sessions, and she enjoyed that session so much that when we started talking about my packages, she was like, oh my goodness, I really need to do this. She literally paid me in full that exact same day for a high-end 3-month package. And that was really cool as well, because at that moment in time, I realized that my messaging was so powerful and my work was so incredibly powerful, and people were noticing that, and people were paying me for it. And it was just the greatest feeling. It was also the greatest feeling because at that point in time, I literally had 3 different systems that I could use to consistently fill up my one-on-one spots. So I had my search engine optimization that I did with my Work With Me page. I had my Facebook ad funnel, which was also continuing to get me one-to-one clients. And I had my Facebook group automated process. Not so much automated because I still had to be the one doing the posting and the engaging and all of that kind of stuff too. But I had 3 different sales pipelines, if you will, that were giving me clients. And then I actually brought in a 4th layer in there, which was Instagram, because I absolutely love Instagram. And within a few months after signing on that client, I was fully booked. I was working a 9-to-5, and I was fully booked in my yoga business. And from there, I started selling a lot more of my $100 package. I started selling a lot more bundles. I created a membership site. I got married. My husband and I had our like big wedding reception. And then after all of that, like even the year that I got married, I was still signing on like 2 to 3 clients a month, 2 to 3 one-on-one clients a month within that business. And it gave me enough of an income to be able to quit my 9 to 5, sell all of my things in Toronto, and move to Nicaragua, where we are right now, where we are building our dream home and where we are starting up our second business. Well, I guess it's my third business very shortly. And this is all because, like, this literally all goes back to understanding what my own gaps were in terms of my knowledge and in terms of my mindset that weren't allowing me to get to where I really, really wanted to go. And so from 2014 to 2017, which is kind of where all of the magic happened, that's when I was able to quit my 9 to 5, that it was a huge monumental shift, not just in my investments, but in who I was becoming, in who I really needed to transition out of and transition into in order to be the woman who signed on consistent clients online, in order to be the woman who showed up as a leader for my community. If I had kept on with the same DIY mentality or with the same like very low investments, want to like dibble dabble with my business and not really take my business seriously mentality that I had in 2014 and 2015, I would have never been able to do all of the amazing things that I've done to date. I wouldn't have clients right now who are literally making 5-figure months and launching insane launches within their businesses and just creating amazing, amazing success with everything that they're doing. None of this would have been possible. So one of my biggest tips to you isn't just to learn these strategies, but also just ask yourself, who is it that I need to become? And what is it that I need to let go of in order to really be able to make it, to have this amazing vision that I have for my business come to life? I'm going to leave you with that because I think that that is the most important part of this entire episode. But I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it gives you some inspiration in terms of how you can look for clients, how you can serve clients, how you can really tweak your messaging and your niche to help you to get clients online. And feel free to reach out to me as well if you have any questions about this episode or any of the things that I was talking about. One of the best ways to get a hold of me is through Instagram. So you can search for me at Sarah J. Loureiro. Like I said, Sarah without an H, J, and then Loureiro. And I would love to hear from you. And I'd love to hear, like what other podcast episodes would you like to hear? So like I said, this came directly from Instagram, directly from someone in the community. I'd be happy to do this again. Have a wonderful day and start rocking that business of yours because you deserve it. And remember this, your clients love to pay you. Okay? Your clients love to pay you. And as soon as you can start shifting into that mentality, you're going to start to see yourself getting fully booked very quickly. Thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, did you like or love this episode? If so, I would so appreciate it if you left a review and rated this episode on iTunes. It would literally mean so much to me. And if you have Instagram and are all up in your Instagram stories like I am, I would love it if you would share this episode with your beautiful followers so they can also get all of the high vibes, all of the free information that I'm giving you here. Thank you so, so much.
Thanks for listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. If you enjoy our show and would like the show notes and free goodies about how to grow your online coaching business, head over to sarahjloureiro.com for more information. We hope you'll tune in next time.